Hello all, welcome to the Cloud DevOps Guru channel. If you are not watched the Linux basic command sessions, please go and watch it. Today we will learn the file permissions in the Linux. Let's begin. Linux file permissions. Inside the Linux file permission, why we use the Linux file permission? Linux file permissions are used for the restrict the users from accessing the files and folders. Linux file permissions can decide who can access those files and folders and who cannot access that files and folders in the Linux operating system. Means if you are created, for example, we have the multiple users in the Linux servers. If one user has created that user, if he want to give the permission to the other user or not, it is based on the his wish. He can give the permission to the other users, or he can restrict the file permissions from the other users. He can give the file permission to the specific users also. So in the Linux file permissions, we have the we can assign the file permissions in the two way. First is the numerical way, second is the symbolic way. Okay, so let's understand. Here in the screenshot, first screenshot, we have the one file, and it has the some file permissions. Let's understand what is the file permissions. Here means it is representing like a hyphen rwx, then we have the rwx, then we have the rwx, right? So we will understand what is it one by one. So here in the next screenshot, you can see the hyphen. Hyphen means it is the normal file or regular file. First three bits rwx, these three bits are for the users. Second three bits are for the group, and third three bits for the other users. Okay, so r means read permission, w means write permission, and x means execute permissions. In this way, for the user we have the full permission, for the group also we have the full permission, and others also have the full permission. Means any user who has logged in into the server, he can access, he can read the file, he can write the file, and he can execute the file one. Okay, so this is the main purpose of this file one. File one has created by the Ubuntu user. Okay, so here Ubuntu, first one is the user, and second one is the group. And so here, Ubuntu is the owner for the file one. Okay, then we will understand the numerical way. In the numerical way, we have the some numbers for the for read, write, and executes. For read, we have the number 4. For write, we have the number 2, and for execute, we have the number 1. Means whenever we create the file, so it assigned to the some user. He is the owner of that file, and it is assigned to the some group. That is the group ownership of that file, and you can give the permission to the other users, or you cannot give the permissions to other users based on your requirement. Okay, so whenever you want to give the permission with the numerical way, we have to consider these numbers. For read, we have the 4. For write, we have the 2, and execute, we have the 1. For example, in the numerical way, if you want to give the permissions, when we create the file in Linux operating system OS, it will assign default permissions to the files and folders. So let's see how many permissions it will assign in the Linux operating system by default. Okay, I had logged in into the Linux server, so just I will create one file, touch, for example, file 1 I am creating. So for check the permissions in the Linux, we will use the ls-l. When we run this, it will display the file permission to the file permission of the means how whatever the file permissions we are given the to that file that represent here. So let's see, this is our file. Let's understand it. So just we had understand, right? First hyphen is the normal file. Normal file. Second three representations like rw, here first 3 bits for the user. This is for the user or owner. Second 3 bits for the rw hyphen for the group owner, group or group owner. Okay, then we have the r hyphen hyphen, these 3 bits for the other users. Okay, means here when we create the file in the Ubuntu user, it has assigned the rw hyphen r hyphen hyphen, means with the numerical way we just understand, right? For read we have the 4 plus, for write we have the 2 plus, hyphen means it is the 0. Okay, means it is when we calculate this it will become the 6. 4 plus 2 plus 0, 6, right? Second one also same, 4 plus 2 plus 0 is equal to 6. And third bit, 4 plus 0 plus 0 is equal to 4. Means when we create the file in normal user, default permissions are 664 default permissions. Okay, and then let's understand, if we create the file in the root user, I will become a root user using the sudo -i. Now I am the root user. Okay, I will create one file here, touch file 2 for example. For checking the permission we will use the ls-l. So now you can see here our file has created, right? Normal file has created. Paste it here. Okay, hyphen means normal file. If it is represents the D, so here you can see, if file type this is the contains the file types. If it is represents the hyphen, it is a regular file. If it is represent the D, it is a directory. Okay, so here it is representing the hyphen means normal file. It is a normal file. Okay, first 3 bits are the rw hyphen, second 3 bits are the r hyphen hyphen, third 3 bits are the r hyphen hyphen, right? So let's understand it. So here rw hyphen for the user, right? Second one for the group, third one for the other user permissions. Okay, so means here rw means how much? 6, right? 4 plus 2, 6. Another one for the group we have the 4, and other users we have the 4. Means when we create the file in the root user, it will by default assign the 644 permissions. Okay, now I will create one folder in the root user. We will see what the default permission will be assigned to the folder. So mkdir demo is my folder. Okay, for checking the permission you can use the ls-l. Now it has created directory, right? You can see here, we will see the representations. D means directory, right? First 3 bits are the RWX for the user or owner. Next 3 bits are the R-X for the group owner. Third 3 bits are the R-X for the other user. Okay. Now here you can see RWX means 4 plus 2 plus X means 1, right? So is equal to 7. So then second bits are the 4 plus 0 plus 1, right? Is equal to 5. Third one also same, 4 plus 0 plus 1 is equal to 5. Means when we create the directory, in root user, it will assign default permissions as 755. Okay. So let's log in into the normal user. Then we will create another one file. Exit from the root user. We will create a folder here, mkdir. For example, folder name is the learning. Okay. For checking the permission, you can use the ls-l. Now you can see my folder has created. So here you can represent D means directory. First 3 bits are the RWX. Second 3 bits are the RWX, and third 3 bits are the R-X. Means first 3 bits it is assigning the 7. Second 3 bits also for group owner full permission. It has the 7. For third means others, it has the 5 permissions. Means when we create the one folder in the normal user, by default permissions will be assigned 775. Okay. So these permissions will be assigned based on the umask value. So how we will get these default permissions? In the Linux we have the one umask value, that based on that umask value this default permission will be assigned to the files and folder. Umask, you can run the umask as a command. So for the normal user we have the 022 002. Okay, means it is showing the 002. When we are giving the permission also, it also has the 077 0775, but we are not using this one. Okay, we will take the 022. And what is the umask value in the root user? We will check that also. Sudo -i umask. You can run the simply command umask. It will give the umask value. Umask value in the root 022. This is for the umask value for the Ubuntu user. Ubuntu user is the normal user, and in the root user umask value is the 022. So for the full permission in the directory we have the 777, means full permission to the user, group and other user. Minus, for normal user you can use the -022, means how much value we will get? 755 in the root user. Okay, in the normal user we have the 777 minus 002 is equal to 775, right? In normal user, by default permission to the folder. Normal user. Okay. For the file permissions also, for file permissions we have the full permissions are the 666. By default we are not having the execute permission to the file. -022 in the root user, means we are getting this 644 in the root user. By default permission we will get in the root user 644, right? And in the normal user we have the 666 minus 002 is equal to, we will get the 664 permissions in the normal user. Based on the umask value you will get the your default file permissions. Okay, if you want to change that, you can change the umask value. Okay, if I want to change the file permissions using the numerical value, for example, why we use the permissions I will show first. For example, I will create the one file here, touch file 1, where I will create inside the, for example, /home/ ubuntu user, but we will see ubuntu user can access or not. Ubuntu home directory. Okay, let's log in into the ubuntu home directory. Now file 1 has created in the ubuntu home directory, right? So now you can see the file permission for the file 1. No, maybe this is the wrong. So I will create the one sudo touch learning Linux is my file. So now you can see the ls-l. When we use the sudo, it will create from the root user. Now you can see the file permissions. We are getting the 644, right? So now you can edit the file vi learning Linux from the normal user. See, this file is the read only. You cannot edit this. Sometimes you will get the this kind of issue while you are working in the Linux. Means you will get that file only read only, because you have to understand that why we are getting the read only, because of the permission you are getting the read only permissions. So you cannot edit this. For example, now I had edited this, but I cannot save this. We cannot save because we have the only read permission. We are not having the write permissions. Okay, if I want to give the write permission to the, here root is the owner, group owner is also root, and other user is the ubuntu. Other user cannot edit the learning leaning Linux. Okay, now I will change the permission for the file. Before the changing the permission, I will show the another one example here. I will create the one script file. For example, first.sh. I'm creating in the ubuntu user only. Okay, echo dollar shell. I want to get the information of the shell. What are the shell we are using in the current terminal? Okay, we can save the file. Now ls-l. Now see the permissions here for our script file. It is created by the ubuntu user. It has the read write for the owner, read write for the group, and read for the other user. But now you want to execute this script, first.sh. Now you are getting the permission deny, because by default execute permissions are not assigned on the script file or normal file in the Linux, right? We have to assign that. If we want to assign the file permissions, we will use the chmod command. Chmod command is used for change the permissions of file and folder in Linux. Okay, let's change with the numerical way. Now I will clear the terminal. You can see ls-l. I want to change the permission. Now just I had created the one script file. I want to give the execute permission to the script file, just Ubuntu user only. Now chmod, here you can see Ubuntu user has the RW and a group has the RW and other has the R, means it has the 6. I want to add execute permission 6 plus 1 means 7, right? And I want to keep the same to the group and other user, means group has the 6 and other user has the 4 for the first .sh. Now you can check the file permission -l. Now you can see your owner has the full permission, group owner has the only read and write permission, and other has the only read permission, means only Ubuntu user can execute this file. Other than Ubuntu user, no one can execute this file. For example, I will log in into the root. Root user can do anything, but normal users cannot do. Okay, /home. Okay, now just you had seen, right, how to change the permissions for the one file. Now we will change the permission for this file. I want to give the full permissions, chmod 777 full permissions, right, to Linux. We are not permitted because even we are not able to give the permission to the that file because it is not created by the Ubuntu user, it is created by the root user. Okay, now here you can see ls-la, only user can give the permission to the file. Okay, now here you can see dir demo also created by the user. Just I want to log in inside the dir demo, and it has the permissions like user has the full permission and group has the read and execute permissions, and other user also has the read and execute permissions. Now I want to create one file inside the directory touch file1. See, he is not able to create the file inside the directory, means he is not having the right permission inside the directory. So now I want to give the right permission to the directory to the other user only, means Ubuntu user comes inside the other user, right? Owner will be root and group owner also root, but Ubuntu is the other user, right? Now I will give the permissions to the other users. cd sudo is used for the become the root user. chmod, user has the full permission, group has the read and execute permission 5, and I want to give the execute permission not write permission to the our other user 757. On which directory? dir demo directory. Now you can check ls-l. So here permissions are changed. Now you can see rwx, means other user has the full permission, group owner has the read and execute permission, and owner has the full permissions. Now I will log in into the dir ls. We are not having any file, right? I will create the one file1 inside the directory. Now I am able to create the files. In this way you can change the files and you can give the permissions to the other users, you can give the permissions to the group, or you can give the permissions to the owner if he is not having any permissions. That permissions can be changed by the only user who has created that file or directory. Okay, now this is the numerical way. Now we will understand the symbolic way. In the symbolic way, we have the for the owner we have the symbol U, group we have the G, and other for we have the O. For if you want to give the permission to the all, we will use the A. If you want to give means any read permission, write permission, then you have to use the plus. If you want to remove the permission, you have to use the minus. So for the read we will represent that using the R, right? We will represent using the W, and execute we will represent using the X. So let's see in the practical way. Okay, now cd ls-l to this directory. I want to remove the execute permission. I want to remove the write permission from this directory to the other user, right? Just I had given before, right? I will change chmod other for, we have the other for o, right? And I want to remove means minus o minus, but I want to remove write for w. We are representing write using the w, right? On which directory? dir demo. We have to use here sudo. Now you can see ls-l. See here, write permissions has removed here. Here we have the write permission to the group, but here we are not having the any write permission to the group. If you want to add the write permission, chmod for other user, o plus, you can use the plus. What you want to add? You want to add the write permission. Okay, now on which directory? dir demo directory. We are not having the permission because we have to use the sudo. It has created by the root user. ls-l. Now you can check the permissions has added into the other user. In this way you can remove the permission, you can give the permission, you can give the permission to the user. If you want to give the permission to the user, you have to use the u. If you want to give the permission to the, for example, we will give the permission to the user also. I want to remove the permission from the user, right? U for the user, remove for the minus. What permissions I want to remove? Execute permissions I want to remove. So now you can see ls-l. Execute permissions has removed by the user, right? So in this way you can use for removing the permissions and giving the permissions. If you want to change the all the user permissions, you can use the chmod a for all user is equal to, what permissions you want to give to the all user? I want to give the read, write and execute. On which directory? This directory. Permission denied because we are using the, we are not able to give the permission using the normal user to the root user created folder, right? So we will use the sudo. Now you can check the permissions. See, full permissions has given by the chmod command. In this way you can change the permissions. You can means you can add the permissions, you can remove the permissions, you can give the permissions to the user, you can give the permissions to the group, you can give the permissions to the other user, you can restrict or you can allow. So based on your requirement you can do using the chmod command. This is the very important concept in the Linux operating system. You can practice it frequently and get the hands-on experience. Thank you for listening this session. If you like this session, please like my session, share the session and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.